Everybody loves the idea of being their own boss, closing deals, showing that online, and have this opportunity to change their lives with real estate. But most what people don't see is the grind, the mindset, the hustle, all the things that you need to do behind the scenes for what you actually maybe see on the online side of things. So before we jump in, let's talk about today what really takes to become a realtor, and it does not matter which market you are located. And this is a topic that, I feel like it's not talked about it. So before we dive into that, I want to make sure you guys are subscribing to my channel because all I want to talk about here, it's transparency, but also give you tools and ideas and inspire you to, yes, you can take this business to the next level. And make sure if you want to connect with me on a one-on-one basis, I would love to chat with you. On the descriptions below, you can go to topagentwolfpack.com and book that call with me, and we can chat more about you possibly become a realtor and what that takes and having that coach next to you to help you get there. And I have helped dozens of agents that really wanted to get into real estate to align. One of the most important things that, in my opinion, is your mindset. So comment below, why are you thinking about becoming a realtor? Because I would love to hear your why. When I first started, I had this vision, of showing people, the dreams and the possibilities of getting to a home, and just thought that that was a pretty much, amazing thing as well of just the flexibility for myself, for my family, for lifestyle. And even though a lot of those things are true, there are a lot more that goes into that. You are starting a business. And a lot of agents, when they think about real estate, especially if they're coming from a traditional corporate job, working 9 to 5, maybe a different schedules on weekends, but that's just like you get into your job, you clock in and you clock out, and someone tells you what to do. And here in the real estate world, you are wearing the hat of a CEO. It is your business. And I think a lot of agents miss that step from the beginning. You might learn maybe the harder way, but if you have that mindset ready from the beginning, it's going to help you scale. So here are 5 things that I want you to consider before you getting your license. Number 1, your mindset determines your income. I know that sounds crazy, right? We all want to be millionaires, billionaires, but I'm saying that for real. When it comes to the day-to-day activities, how you're putting yourself together, how you believe in yourself, building confidence, and how you see yourself in the mirror before you get out there and start talking to the people, that is truly the $1 million deal. It's working on yourself and investing in yourself. Yes, you're going to have to learn about the industry, how to serve your clients, that customer service, all of those things are very important. But your mindset is going to be setting the pace, going to be the foundation that you're going to be building your business. And it's true that I think your mindset will continue to develop and grow as you continue your journey into the real estate because, maybe when you start, you don't want to have a full, clear picture of your niche or what do you want to do and how you want to take your business. But as you learn more about it, hear from others, get coaches, or listening to podcasts, reading books, again, going back to investing, what is coming in? What are you taking in? What are you reading? What are you seeing on social media, right? What are you letting your mind get fed on a daily basis? It really is going to impact your daily actions towards anything else about your life, but especially around your business. And as I said, the first thing of the mindset here is thinking like a CEO. When you're coming in, you're going to have all these flexible hours, which it is pretty amazing. But you need to remember you're working, if you don't put boundaries in the beginning, 24/7, if you don't have a work, balance into how you want to do your business. Again, you're going to be wearing a lot of different hats into all the different departments that, compile a business, and it's your real estate industry, especially in the beginning when you are looking for that first deal. But going back to, again, the mindset, flexible hours, and you are an entrepreneur. You're not, you finally got that title that you always wanted. You are your own boss. You don't have to report to no one. But here it comes the beauty and the challenge if you are not creating again that foundation to help you. And another reality, again, if you're coming from a corporate role, you're not getting paid hourly. You're going to have to go hustle and the results will come that will come with a commission. But, we never know. The average new agent can be out most say 5 to 6 months to potentially seeing that first check. I'm not saying that should be your story, but that's just the average. And even just kind of my own personal, my first deal, I did meet my client within 1 month that I was in real estate, and it came from social media, which is crazy. Every time I think about it, it still blows my mind. But I was posting consistently from the day that I said I am in real estate. But it was a listing, and just getting the house ready within few weeks to get on the market. But did get an offer within 5 days, which was great. And then the closing. So just to think about it, it was almost 3 months before I got my paycheck, even though I did get a client within a first month of starting to hustle and really putting the word out there that I was in real estate. So all of those things need to be in consideration when you're starting to build your business. There will be a lot of things that you need to focus on. And I would say, as much as we all want that paycheck, you just need to just work, 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 plant, 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 because the harvest will come from that, on that good soil that you put in your seeds, which is talking to people, lead generations, and just getting yourself out there. One of the things I wanted to share about being in this business for a few years now, that there's no luck. This means discipline and consistency every single day equals the results. And those results, I have to tell you, is going to come from your own discipline and also, how much time you put into it. There's no, secret sauce. It is really straightforward, that simple. But I know we can get on the way and mess things up a little bit sometimes. And just wanted to add here a little quote for just some food for thought. If you have a six-figure desired income, but with a part-time mentality, you're not going to get there. So again, work on your mindset, invest in you. You will be the best thing you can ever work on, and that will bring fruits to your business, to your life, in every single area. So mindset, very, very important. And that's why I wanted to start off with that. And as I kind of, throw a little hint in as I was talking about mindset, you are the CEO of your business. Yes, you today, you're the boss, and it carries so many different hats. You need to be thinking about not only, getting that lead, customer service. How are you going to treat them, throughout the whole process? You need to be thinking about marketing and, how you're going to market yourself so more people know what you're doing. Then you need to wear the hat of financing, which is something that a lot of realtors do not start doing that from the beginning. It's better to build up in your finances, how you want to work it out, before you're starting to make all this money and you don't know where the money is going, right? And we hear those stories all the time. So again, you're wearing so many different hats. So in the beginning, you do have to just juggle around all of them. And I think not everybody has the opportunity to already have all this money saved up where you can, hire people to help you in those different areas and really focus on what your work the best at, which is just be the front of your business, which is kind of contact with more people. Obviously you guys know I love social media. Didn't start feeling that I love social media from the beginning, but I know the results that bring to my business. And even being here today in front of the camera, it was not something that I ever thought I would do, but I know how it has helped my business and still helped my business and will continue to help my business. And I hope you learned something from that today. And here's the thing, especially if you're starting this, career alone, no one is going to tell you what to do. I don't know about you, and I don't know how much you read about getting your license wherever you're located. You are, going anywhere from like, several hours to 100 and some hours of training depending on in the state that you live in and what the requirement is. And you're learning a lot of laws and regulations, which they are important, but they do not teach you once you get your license and you say, yay, I'm a realtor. What do I do next? That's something that they don't do. So definitely align yourself with the right brokerage, the right team. I know that coaching sometimes in the beginning, it's not necessarily an easy thing to do because I know there's a cost to it, right? But as I said, even at the beginning, if it's reading more, following people that are delivering a lot of free content like me, so that it just kind of helps you already think about like how to handle your business before you even started, or as you're doing it before all that income is coming in, which is the goal, right? I think there will be a time, as a CEO, they always have, as you want to call it, like a board of directors, people that are, has different types of experiences in different areas that is going to help you run your business. So they're bringing, their knowledge, their expertise to the table, and you will be able to add those peoples in your life as you continue to grow. And you want to do that because otherwise, if you're not in a room, the people that are surrounding you, surrounding your table, as I said, they are not doing things bigger and better than you, then you definitely should consider where you at because your business is not going to grow. You want to have people that is around you that is going to challenge you, that is you're going to see that there's more potential in you. And I think, one of the things that I feel like it was key for me is having someone in your life in this industry that see you beyond yourself. I never thought I'd get into real estate if it wasn't for someone that saw me even beyond myself. And we need to have those people that have that kind of vision and cast that in front of us to help us out. So here's some things just to think about it that will help you as you're starting your journey, thinking about getting your license and things that you can already start even implementing little by little. Start thinking about what is going to be your calendar. Most brokerages, they will provide a CRM and you want to use that to start already building your clientele, all their information. So it's easier to send emails in bulk or create a campaign. Everybody's, on the same system. So creating some of those things from the beginning, prioritizing your calendar, only what are all the things that you need to do. But if you were working for someone else, at a bare minimum, if you're working a normal 8-hour job, you would be dedicating 8 hours of your day to someone else's business. Are you willing to do that for your own business? And that's a question that I'll leave it there. And but again, just think about, small little steps that is going to help you as you scale systems, calendar, prioritization. One of the things that every agent needs to do, even if you're thinking about doing online content, you need to generate leads. You need to be talking to new people. So just getting creative in how you're going to be in front of more people at all times and truly being authentic of who you are, because that's what you're going to connect with in a greater and deeper level. Another thing about when you come get into this business that is going to be so critical, it is time management. It is so, so easy to be too busy, but not busy with the right activities. One of the things after almost 4 years in the business that I even look at myself because I do have a lot of ideas. I'm very creative. I always tell the agents in my group, like, hop on a call with me because I'll probably give you like a list of things according to your lifestyle that I think you can do that can help your business today to be in front of people today. And I tend to do the same thing with myself. I'm very social. I like to be out there. And sometimes I just like, get myself so busy. And I'm like, okay, what are the results that I'm getting? Some of it, obviously, I want to connect with people. And I will do that no matter what, just not always thinking about immediate results because you are building relationship. But at the same time, if you're dedicating, even if the mere of like 2 to 3 hours a day, which is not a lot if you are working on this business full time. And even if you're not, I would say dedicate those few hours that you have a day to lead generation. And that will be new people that you want to be connecting with all the time. That could be also your sphere, but maybe people you haven't connected in a while. So just again, this business is all about being top of mind. So time management is going to be very critical for you if you're able to have a calendar and stick to it the best way possible. That's going to be like a great thing for you to help you set yourself for success so that you know when you wake up the next day, what are the at least the top three things. We all can have an endless list of things to do. At least I do. I'm super guilty of that. But some of those things are more important than others. So just prioritizing your day, what are the things that is going to move the needle for your business? That's going to be the most important things for you to focus on. And then when you check off those things, you're going to be so full of energy and excited that if there's more time, you get through other things in the list that is not as a priority. It's not gonna, get anything on fire. So again, time management, calendar, you're the CEO of your business. Just get really good with not just being so busy that you're not actually even having time to look into your business to see what are the things that you need to adjust. Therefore, get ready to invest. Real estate isn't for free. I have to say, this is probably one of my biggest pet peeve. And this is why I think a lot of people get their license and they're not thinking through all the different aspects of real estate. And I hope this video really is going to help you. Is that, they immediately thinking of getting their license. And then they said, I don't know, again, different state might be different costs. But in here in Washington, it's almost about $500, give it and take, for you to go and get your training, right? Your course, your 90 hours. And a lot of people are just like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive, or I need to save more money. And then, when they're thinking, okay, if I'm going to get my license, what are some of my expenses, right? You're going to be part of your, Realtor Association, give and take between $700, $1,000 a year. And then you have your MLS that you need to be part of it. Like that's how we run our business. Again, different MLSs might charge differently. I'm just giving you some rough numbers from what I pay here in Washington. It's about like $240 per quarter. And then I have access to Supra, which is like our e-key. So when I get to a house, I can connect my phone and then open the door to show a property to my client. Or also if I have a lockbox, if the listing, it's mine. And if you didn't have a laptop, I think it's important for you to, have a laptop so you can do business wherever you go. And I would say like that's like the bare minimum. And then depending on the activities you're gonna do, if you're gonna do open houses, you want to create some signs, right? And then obviously there's some marketing that you can do, but there's a lot of marketing that you can do today for free using social media platforms and just creating the content yourself. Again, it is so important that you come open-minded about investing in yourself. Like, so maybe just to make like a ballpark number, maybe in a year. And I'm talking about like just the bare minimum like of like spending money when you're in your business, some of your expenses, you might be, oh, brokerage fee. My fee it's about $100 a month, so another 1,200 for the year. So again, trying to put all of in consideration, you might be spending close to 3,000, maybe $3,500 a year. And that's it. But I see so many mindsets when they think about getting to real estate where it can change their lives, where they can make millions, that they feel like, oh my gosh, that's a big investment. I feel like that already you need to stop and think, why are you wanting to get into real estate? Because if you're going to have that mindset that just the bare minimum that you need to get into this business is going to cost you everything, I don't know, maybe you're not thinking about the right business for you. And so it is so important. Like you could be making, I don't know, I think the average, I'm just using national average, a realtor could be making anywhere from like 40 to $60,000 a year. I mean, I think you can do more, but that's just an average. Depends on the price point, locations, all the other things, because they're looking nationally. And then if like you made 50 grand this year and your expenses was just like, 35, $4,000 a year. Was it not worth it? So I think you just need to have that mindset that investing in yourself, investing in your business is going to be the best thing you can ever do. And another question that I get a lot from new agents are, do you have free leads? And I have to say that sometimes, not sometimes, probably every time I get that question, I'm just like, are you thinking as a CEO? Are you thinking as your business owner? Like, are you thinking as the boss that you want someone to give you a free lead? And let me tell you, there's no such a thing as a free lead. You might be handling a lead for you to work them if it works out for you to close them, but it's not free. You're going to be paying at least, 50% of your income to a team lead, to a brokerage, if you are thinking of those free leads. So just really think about that. Nothing comes from free, right? You already heard that. Maybe the time you spend in investing in yourself, some of it could be for free because there's so many information out there on social media today. And then there's times that you need to invest in yourself. So really, really will pound down on this one. Invest in yourself, invest in your business. You will be the best thing you can ever do if you want to grow and to scale. And last but not least, I want to talk about timing matters. I often get asked, am I too early? Am I too late to get into real estate? And the answer is it's maybe, because the market, it's something that it's, unforeseen, uncontrollable. We don't have a future ball that we can just go and see what's going to happen. But one thing is certain, discipline, consistency, it's always going to win the game. And I cannot answer this for you. I don't know where you're at financially. I don't know what is your, stability at the moment. And everybody starts with different needs. I mean, like, as you guys being, coming to my channel, I interview a lot of different top producers, and just hearing the stories, sometimes we have from like single moms that started in this real estate business. They had nothing. So this was the only thing that they had, and they had to make it work. So I think the pressure sometimes of your circumstances can make you act or react in a different way. And then there's other times that people are like, oh, I'm thinking real estate is going to be good. But I'm going to keep, my part-time job, my full-time job, and do this part-time and see what happens. I did that, but I have to say, I did understood the fact that I needed to be my own CEO. So when I decided to, only because I did that, it was not because um, I always knew I wanted to be in real estate. It was because I wasn't sure if real estate was for me. And I had a really nice career, a really nice paying, and I knew that I needed need to move out of my career. So I didn't want to toss that away unless I got a little taste to make sure real estate was even for me. And so I think, again, there was a different mentality for me. I knew that I needed to like dedicate every ounce that I had outside of my full-time job into the real estate business if I wanted to at least have an idea what would it look like if I was working full-time into real estate. And obviously I'm still here. I have been able to transition into full time, and it was the best decision I made. And yes, there's still a lot of like, all the things that I shared with you guys. The mindset is constantly recalibrating, looking into making sure I'm reminding myself I'm the boss, I make decisions, how am I managing my time, my clients' expectations, my team expectation because I'm expanding. So all of these things are so critical. And obviously, the one thing that I think I'm the biggest, it's about investing myself. I think it's so important. I don't think I would have been where I am today if I had not invested in myself. And then as I said in here, as far as when I was getting my license, it was the high peak of real estate that I feel like anybody was closing a deal. By the time I finished and got my license, that already has, decreased. So I didn't start it on the peak of it when, homes were closing two, three, $500,000, over asking. So that question is, I feel like it's, directly to you, where you are at, does it make sense for you? But even that, like, do you want to be in this business? Do you want to give all that it takes to have a successful business? Because then I think you will. And also, as I shared in throughout this conversation today. If you have any questions, that if you are just trying to figure it out, I would love to just chat with you. Make sure to book a call with me. All my information is always on the description. You guys can find me. A lot of you guys sometimes DM me on Instagram as well. So I'm here to help and guide, because I've been there. I know how it feels, and I want to be the support for you as well. And as I share, real estate can change your life, and it is changing mine. But there is no secret sauce, there's no magic. It's mindset, it's systems, it's being with with a community that supports you, and this massive consistency. I'll leave here with a question for you before you take the leap of even starting to get into the real estate school. Are you ready to be the CEO of your business? Are you ready to invest in yourself? I'd love to hear your comments below. Now, if you are ready to get started and you want some guidance, again, make sure to book a call with me. Go straight to my topagentwolfpack.com, and I would love to connect with you and guide you through this journey, because I truly think it can be amazing and change your life forever.